This morning, a new piece in the Financial Times is taking a serious look at loneliness in our society. It's entitled, "Are We Ready for the Approaching Loneliness Epidemic?" And the author of the article, Federica Coco, joins us now. And Federica, thank you for joining us. You are a statistical journalist at the Financial Times, and you approach this topic with a lot of data. You highlight several stats in your new piece, writing, quote, "In developed countries, the share of people who report having friends or relatives they can count on has been steadily dropping over the past 15 years. Older people are consistently worse affected. On average, 53% of Americans aged over 65 spend more than 8 hours of waking time on their own every day, according to my analysis of data from the American Time Youth Survey." And you're looking at other things like the rise of single-person households. Tell us what you found.
Well, one surprising thing that I found is that the share of young people that spends more than 8 hours of their waking time alone has risen quite markedly since 2011, so in the last 10 years. So for women, for example, young women, only 7% in 2011 used to spend more than 8 hours a day alone. And now the share has effectively doubled. It's more than 14%. And a similar dynamic is happening for men. And I looked also at a separate survey because there's quite a difference between spending time on your own and feeling lonely. Yeah. And a survey from the UK has shown that in terms of feeling lonely, young women are much more likely to feel lonely. 40% say so, 22% of men, and the share compared to older people are actually much higher.
Now, you know, Federica, what's so fascinating is that even before the pandemic, we had talked about an epidemic, a mental health epidemic in this country especially with younger Americans, anxiety, depression, suicidal ideations. All of this seemed to be brewing before the pandemic. And I think it's too easy for people to look at the pandemic and say, oh, well, that's a problem. No, that was just an accelerator. Can you tell me what has caused this move towards isolation over the past decade?
Yeah, I mean, there was that famous book, Bowling Alone by Robert Putnam, which came out in 2000. So it's been happening for centuries, actually, and it has to do with urbanization, with dropping fertility rates, with women entering the labor force, going into education, and delaying marriage and childbearing. So, as I mentioned in the article, it is also a mark of a wealthy society. After I received a lot of messages and emails, and some of them were saying, well, actually, I'm quite happy living alone. I'm independent. I have my freedom, and communities can actually be suffocating in some sense. And young people feel that too. But that doesn't mean that there aren't also some people who'd rather not be alone and who don't suffer the health consequences, as you say, because people, when they live together, we're in each other's companies, they hold each other accountable. If you live on your own, or if you spend a lot of time on your own, you're more likely to engage in unhealthy behavior. So you might smoke more, you might eat unhealthy foods, you might get more stressed because you don't have somebody comforting you and supporting you. And so that leads to higher rates of insomnia or heart disease too.
Federica, this is such a fascinating topic, and as you say, it's been going on for a long time. There's some people who say, look, this is just the way the world's going, particularly young people. They say, my social relationships are here in my phone. I don't really need to come into the office anymore. It's a waste of time to commute in and out. But for a lot of us, the community of being here, the community of being with friends is what makes life worth living. So do you think this will change in some way, or is this just the direction we're headed as a culture, that we're more insular, that we are more lonely?
I think what can change, you can't force people to be in other people's company, right. But what can change is the support that is offered. I mean, when you go to a doctor, they'll ask you, do you smoke? Or how many drinks how many glass of alcohol do you have? But they never ask you, do you feel alone? And those community services coming from the doctors, from the health services, can help. So, for example, there's a small town of Frome in England that has been experimenting with certain services. So there's a talking bench. So if anyone feels alone, they can sit on this bench, and there'll be community nurses that will go and have a chat with these people. Or taxi drivers and cafe owners are informed about those services so that they can tell their customers, if they get a sense, because people say certain things when they feel alone, when they feel isolated, so they can offer those services. But something definitely needs to be done, because high rates of loneliness are correlated with more aggressive behavior, more paranoid behavior. They're also linked to violent extremism. So it is something that needs to be tackled at a certain level from society.
Well, and we're going to go to Mike Barnicle in a second with a question. I just want you to follow up, though, because one of the things I thought was so fascinating about your article was that some people may go, oh, it sounds hokey. Wait, you're going to have places where people can go talk on benches with others. You're going to have taxi drivers. But actually in that town, talk about, because this is one of the reasons we wanted to have you on, because people say, oh, there's nothing we can do. Your article provides hope, because actually in that town, you talked about how it made a difference.
Yes, so rates of hospitalization dropped markedly in Frome, whereas in the wider county of Somerset, they increased by 28%. So it definitely had an effect.
So, Federica, the loneliness of the elderly, people 65, 70 years of age and older, is sad, but it's kind of understandable. Their partners die, their friends die, and so loneliness sets in for many of them. But what do we do about the loneliness of the young, teenagers, people in their 20s, whose best friend is an iPhone?
Yeah.
Well, somebody suggested that maybe the two should meet. So, for example, I used to take part in this lunch club for widows or men who had been recently widowed who never learned to cook. And I used to go in this community center and cook with them, and we'd learn together. So something like that could possibly be another solution. It was very fun for me, and I met a lot of very interesting people there.
The new piece is online for the Financial Times. It is absolutely worth a read.
This is so important.
Federica Coco, thank you so much for being on the show this morning. We really appreciate it. See you soon.